Joining us now is Danica. Is that right? Am I saying it right? Danica Cherry, the director of Hope Lodge. Danica, how you doing?
Good, thanks.
Well, we appreciate it having us down here. And, before we get into what the great things that you're doing down here, McCarthy Auto Group had us come down here.
Yes.
Carl Kramer.
Yes.
And they are huge supporters of Hope Lodge.
Yes, they are.
Yeah. You might want to just tell everybody it takes people like McCarthy Auto Group and other businesses to draw awareness and get the word out about the lodge.
Yes. Carl Kramer is near and dear to my heart. He is a huge supporter of the American Cancer Society, along with the McCarthy family and the Auto Group. They always raise awareness during October for not only the cause of breast cancer, but also raise awareness for the Hope Lodge here in Kansas City. Unfortunately, we're one of the best kept secrets in Kansas City. Not many people know we're here.
Yeah.
Even though we come from a big organization of the American Cancer Society,
Yep.
most don't know that program they provide is the Hope Lodge.
Yeah. Well, this is a beautiful area. We talked about it a little bit in the open, how they've really spiffed up. I don't know if that's the proper word or not to use here tonight, but it's a beautiful building on the corner of 12th and Pennsylvania. And let's talk about the people that are qualified to come here. You have to live more than 40 miles away
Yes.
from Kansas City,
Mhm.
correct? And,
Yes.
and fill everybody else in about the people and their caregivers and what you do with those.
Yes. The people we serve are actively in treatment for cancer, have a diagnosis, and they need to, if they're in rural areas of Kansas, Kansas City, Missouri. Some people have come from as far as California.
Oh, wow.
East Coast, West Coast. If they need to have the care here in Kansas City, they can travel here and stay at the Hope Lodge free of charge. We don't charge anything. You can have as much money or as little money to stay here. Unfortunately, cancer does not discriminate, and neither do we.
Yeah, well, that's great. And you have to be 18 years or older
Yes.
to be here as well, correct?
Yes, this is an adult program. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, this is a much bigger place than I thought of. You have 45 suites here with 2 twin beds.
Yep.
That allows, and we talked about it a little bit before we went on there, caregivers. They hold a
Yes.
near and dear place to your heart.
Yes.
I was a caregiver for my mother when she was
Yep.
sick for 5 years, and it's important for a person when they're going through those times and hardships of dealing with this terrible disease to have somebody there to help them where they're not uncomfortable. And just talk about what it means for caregivers and having an opportunity to let them be here with their
Yes. The reason we offer 2 twin beds is because a caregiver could be a family member, or it could be a longtime friend, a cousin. So the cancer patient is able to have a caregiver here with them while they're going through treatment. And we also treat the caregivers as a guest as well, because they come here and take time out of their daily lives to be here.
Yeah, it's stressful on the caregiver, just
Yes.
like it is. They're
Yep.
dealing with watching their loved ones suffer, and I
Yep.
know that it was painful, and everybody that's had to deal with watching their loved ones suffer, it's so painful
Yes.
to do that. We're down here in the community dining room right now.
Yep.
And by the way, the chili smells great.
I know, I just had a bowl.
And I'm watching the volunteers around here, and they all have smiles on their face. They're bringing cookies or whatever they can, and they're down here as volunteers. I'm sure a lot of them are.
Yes.
Talk about the people that work here at Hope Lodge and how they volunteer, and I think they're probably in there doing the cooking themselves right here in the kitchenette.
Yes.
Yeah, just talk about that a little bit.
Sure. Our staff and volunteers are a very big part of how the Hope Lodge runs. And what we do is we have these fun activities every night, or we try to fill our activity calendar every night for our guests so that they can, when they come back from from treatment all day, the last thing you want to do is think of what's for dinner.
Yeah.
So it's great that we have bingo nights, and we have, like tonight, a great group came in to make chili for them. We have pumpkin carving and
Awesome.
painting, so seasonal activities.
Things to relieve the mind.
Yes, and
Yeah.
you would think that this place wouldn't be you're here and you feel the atmosphere. It's like a fun place.
It is.
You would never guess.
You know what it reminds me of is a live-in community, not with
Yeah.
a bunch of ill people, but I don't want to use the senior living, but
Yeah.
that group environment
Uh-huh.
that I don't know. I really can't explain it, but the people down here, though, you can tell that by looking at them that they're comfortable being
Yep.
around people that are dealing with the same things.
Yes.
They can share those stories.
Yep.
This is my treatment today. How's yours going?
Mm-hmm.
And maybe talk to somebody to where if they're confused about something that's
Mm-hmm.
going on with themselves, they could talk to that other person and kind of use that as a sense of relief, maybe.
Yes, this
Yeah.
is definitely a support system, not only a free place to stay, but when you're diagnosed with the horrible disease and everyone thinks they're going through it alone.
Mm-hmm.
And if you stay at a place like this, you're with people who are going through the same thing as you are.
Right.
And there's 31 total around the country. What's the plans for future Hope Lodges
Well,
around the country?
actually, there's 32.
32 now.
Salt Lake City just opened
Awesome.
weeks ago.
Okay.
At the beginning of September. And we are campaigning. The next one that we're campaigning for in this area is in Omaha, Nebraska. And then there are a couple down in Texas we're campaigning for right now in Houston. There's a huge need in Houston, as well as Dallas.
Oh, wow.
Now, are most of the people here being treated at KU Med Center, or are there other places in the Kansas City area that?
A majority are from KU Med, but we
Right.
also serve the St. Luke's system. The veterans come here
okay.
as well. Truman Research.
BA people then?
Yeah,
Actually? Yeah. KU Med, great to my mother over there, and she was
Mm-hmm.
part of their program where they try outside-the-box procedures, and,
Yes.
and they were just lovely over there. Great people.
Yeah, they are great.
Yeah. Go ahead, Kurt.
Is this facility always, is there always like a waiting list? How tough is it to get in?
Some lodges around the country are on waiting lists. This one, we're one of the larger ones, and we don't have a waiting list. Sometimes
That's great.
we are full, and we have another program through the American Cancer Society called Hotel Partners Program. Where there are hotels around the area that will donate rooms for guests. So if we are even, we never have to tell anybody no. We can always refer them somewhere else, and I hate to turn anybody away. So it's nice to have that cushion as well.
Before we let you go, is there something that you would like to tell the listeners out there that is important to you and dear to your heart about this place, and maybe create an opportunity for people to be volunteers, or if you're a
Yes.
corporate company and you'd like to get involved, or even private donations? I know that you have a Facebook account that's
Mm-hmm.
KC Hope Lodge, and then on Twitter it's Hope Lodge KC. So
Yes.
if somebody wanted to get a part of this organization and what you guys, the great stuff that you're doing, how would they do that?
Yeah, they could just call us here at 816-218-7200. And if anyone would like to volunteer, we have a wish list of items such as paper towels and toilet paper. Actually, we're low on those if anyone would like
Yeah,
to drop
right.
any by.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It can't be done without the donations.
right. We are 100% ran on donations.
Yeah. Well, we appreciate your hard work, because I know.
Thank you.
The one thing I talk about with cancer is, it affects everybody that's involved. And as I've said several times here during this interview and prior to it, that we've all been touched by it. And
Yes.
for somebody that has to watch people suffer, to be honest, it's not an easy job.
No, it's not. A lot of people ask me, I don't know how you do what you do.
Yeah.
It is.
And I'll just say kudos to you on that.
Thanks.
All right. So thanks so much for being on the
Well,
show.
thank
We
you so
appreciate-
much for this opportunity. I really
it's great.
appreciate it.
Yeah. Well,
Enjoy
it's
being
great.
here.
Yeah.
Thanks so much. Appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
All right.